name's Eli.
My name's Jason.
My name's Caden.
I'm Jaden.
And we are the Yahoo and the Torah YouTube channel.
And we thank you guys very much for tuning in and spending your time with us right now. And we are going through the actual Torah. We're going through the Torah, which is Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus, Numbers, Deuteronomy. And we are on day 3 of this. And we are... Essentially, we're having to have a read-off on this because there are no commandments for the next few chapters. And so we're going to go through the few chapters, see how it goes, see what the time looks like. And I want to discuss them. I don't want to just blow through them looking for these. So let's discuss them and see what we can find. And much love to everybody out there. Thank you guys so much for spending your time out there. And I know that you guys are a bunch of prayer warriors out there. And so we have had yet another calf that has fallen sick. It's a friend of the family's. He's the one that gives hugs and kisses, and he is now sick. And his name is Eleazar. The boys call him Eleazar. What do you guys call him?
Eleazar.
Yeah, it's like biblical. I think it was Eleazar. And but if you guys could offer up a prayer to Yah that His will be done, and we're praying that he recovers. He's looking sicker than normal, and he's getting weaker, it appears, so we're going out every couple hours, every hour, actually. Jade was out there walking him, getting him up, trying our best, and we're trying to give him the things we think will get him back up and going. But once a calf gets sick, they get sick, and we've had a really bad run at this, and I know it's Hasatan doing what he does because we are keeping the law, statutes, and commands, and not only are we keeping them, but we are trying to get you guys out there. We are like salesmen for Yah's kingdom. In fact, we are, we're the super Amway salesmen. We're the guys coming to your door, digital door, and we are saying, hey, these are super, super, super duper good things, and, the cost is absolutely nothing. The cost is your faith. The cost is your faith in the Messiah, YHWH, and then when you start studying these beautiful laws that will keep you alive, you will be blessed. And so let's begin right here. And so this is Genesis 3, and I'm going to read, and we will see what we can do on this thing. Verse 1. Now a serpent was more subtle than any beast of the field which YHWH Elohim had made. And he said unto the woman, Yea, has Elohim said, Ye shall not eat of every tree of the garden. And the woman said unto the serpent, We may eat of the fruit of the trees of the garden. But of the fruit of the tree which is in the midst of the garden, Elohim has said, Ye shall not eat of it, neither shall ye touch it, lest ye die. And the serpent said unto the woman, Ye shall not surely die. For Elohim knows that in the day ye eat thereof, then your eyes shall be opened, and ye shall be as Elohim, knowing good and evil. And when the woman saw that the tree was good for food, and that it was pleasant to the eyes, and a tree to be desired to make one wise, she took of the fruit thereof, and did eat, and gave also unto her man with her, and he did eat. And the eyes of them both were opened, and they knew that they were naked, and they sewed fig leaves together, and made themselves aprons. And they heard the voice of YHWH Elohim walking in the garden in the cool of the day. And the man and his woman hid themselves from the presence of YHWH Elohim amongst the trees of the garden. All right, boys, let's do a quick breakdown right here. We won't go too far astray into this, but there's some cool things that we have right here. We have that we knew at some point that Elohim was walking amongst us in the garden, and we broke that. We broke when our Creator was walking amongst us, and we brought evil into that entire situation. So give me a breakdown. What exactly did what happened here?
The serpent came to Eve and said, is it true that Elohim said, do not eat this? And she replies with, yes, he said, do not eat it nor touch it. And he never said, do not touch it. He said, do not eat it. So either Adam explained it wrong to her, or she was confused on the whole thing.
Yeah, and absolutely, a woman went under the bus for this. And before we all pick up stones and toss them at Eve, or at Hannah, as she is called, these people were born into a world that they did not know deceit, and they did not know true evil. And when somebody comes up to you and they tell you they're going to do something for you, or that they're going to help you or do something, and they don't, it's a thing. You're gullible as people, as human beings. We expect the best out of people. We think that people are going to help us out. But there's people out there that make their entire livings grifting people and running scams and things of that nature on people. And the best in the business is going to be Hasatan. The best of the best of the best is going to be the dude who's the most evilest. And the guy who got booted out of the kingdom and the Shamaim for being evil. And so she was outclassed by probably lots of years and many moons. And, the serpent had experience that she did not have. We were sitting ducks, and I don't think any one of us would have probably passed this test. Okay, where are we at? 9. And Yahuwah Elohim called unto Adam and said unto him, Where are you? And he said, I heard your voice in the garden, and I was afraid because I was naked, and I hid myself. And he said, Who told you that you were naked? Have you eaten of the tree whereof I commanded you that you should not eat? And the man said, The woman whom you gave to be with me, she gave me of the tree, and I did eat. And Yahuwah Elohim said unto the woman, What is this that you have done? And the woman said, The serpent beguiled me, and I did eat. And Yahuwah Elohim said unto the serpent, Because you have done this, you are cursed above all cattle, and above all every beast of the field. Upon your belly shall you go, and dust shall you eat all the days of your life. And I will put enmity between you and the woman, and between your seed and her seed. It shall bruise your head, and you shall bruise his heel. Unto the woman he said, I will greatly multiply your sorrow and your conception. In sorrow you shall bring forth children, and your desire shall be to your man, and he shall rule over you. All right, no commandments here. We don't have anything so far. But that's very interesting that I find this very interesting that prior to this incident, man and woman were equal or should have been equal in this setup. And perhaps Adam didn't do what he should have done being this, but this it's not really a curse, but it's like the change that Yah made is that the desire of the woman shall be to be with your man, and he shall rule over you. Now, what exactly does that mean to you, boys?
He should be head of the household.
Yeah, what does that mean to rule over your woman?
It basically means you have the authority, like not like you're her slave owner, but you basically make the decisions of the family.
Yeah, and in a good relationship, it's really a give and take. It is definitely a give and take. And I mean, I don't know what you guys see around here for the most part. Your mom could give me the nod, and I will do what her wishes are, but we all know that's true. But that is the way it is supposed to be. There's supposed to be a give and take, but at the end of the day, yeah, the man is supposed to do that. Why do you think that why do you think he did that? I mean, the man messed this up as well. I mean, the man had every chance. The woman went and sold him the apple or the fruit, whatever it was, the special stuff. She went and sold him. How is he?
I mean, the serpent lost his legs. I would say that's the worst of all, losing your legs. It's probably the worst.
Was it a serpent?
Legs. I don't know.
Was it a giant talking snake that came and
Mine says the serpent and the serpent.
Yeah, I know.
With arms and legs.
Arms and legs. Did that not scare her?
You call it a tree or something?
Did that not scare her? Was there no fear in Eden?
I don't know. I think the animals talked. I think that's why.
The animals did talk. We know that.
Yeah.
From the book of Adam and Eve.
Yeah.
Because when Adam was kicked out of the garden, that was the day that animals stopped talking.
When the snake starts talking to you, it's no problem.
I mean, literally, you had friends literally everywhere, all around you.
You probably waved the snakes. They went to work every day.
Snakes look spooky anyway. I mean, I don't think that was what he looked like. And Hasatan can look like anything. And so I don't know. Maybe the snake back in the day.
Probably weren't scared of the animals since they had dominion over them.
Yeah, and maybe since prior to him having to be on his stomach and moving around, maybe he had legs. Maybe he looked like something else. Yeah, maybe not so scary, but yeah. Okay, here we are, and so and then yeah, absolutely. Women are. If I have my view of this, women are like completely cursed when it comes to what happens in monthly systems and childbirth and all this stuff. Men, as tough as you guys think you are, as tough as we think we are, right? We're not tough enough for this stuff. So Yah made us how we should be, and women how they should be, and it's an interesting setup. It's a very interesting setup. Okay, 17. And unto Adam he said, Because you have hearkened unto the voice of your woman, and have eaten of the tree, of which I commanded you, saying, You shall not eat of it. Cursed is the ground for your sake. In sorrow shall you eat of it all the days of your life. Thorns Also, and thistles shall it bring forth to you, and you shall eat of the herb of the field. In the sweat of your face shall you eat bread, till you return unto the ground. For out of it you were taken, for dust you are, and unto dust shall you return. And Adam called his woman's name Kua. It's Kua. And everyone knows it's Eve, but that's not the right thing. So Kua, life giver. And Adam called his woman's name Kua, because she was the mother of all living. Unto Adam also, and to his woman did Yahuwah Elohim make coats of skins, and clothe them. And Yahuwah Elohim said, Behold, the man is become as one of us, to know good and evil. And now, lest he put forth his hand and take also of the tree of life and eat, and live forever. Therefore Yahuwah Elohim sent him forth from the Garden of Eden to till ground from whence he was taken. So he drove out the man, and he placed at the east of the Garden of Eden cherubim, and a flaming sword which turned every way to guard the way of the tree of life. Okay, so that's very interesting. We'll wrap this one up. There was no commandments in this. Did anyone catch any commandments?
No. Nothing.
Okay.
The tree of life, apparently they're like a fruit you can take a bite of, like a fountain of youth or something. You just eat it and you live forever.
And everything would be made right. And so that was what Elohim said. He says, first of all, I thought it was interesting. Behold, the man is become as one of us. So who's he talking to?
There's multiple people.
Who's he talking to?
I think Yehoshua. Maybe the Holy Spirit, something like that.
Us, yeah. I mean, it's obviously multiple things. And so
knowing good and evil.
Yeah. Okay, so let's hit it. Verse chapter 4. And Adam knew Kua, his woman, and she conceived and bore Cain, and said, I have gotten a man from Yahuwah. And she again bore his brother, Havel, and Havel was a keeper of sheep, but Cain was a tiller of the ground. And in process of time it came to pass that Cain brought of the fruit of the ground an offering unto Yahuwah. And Havel, he also brought of the firstlings of his flock, and of the fat thereof. And Yahuwah had respect unto Havel, and to his offering. But unto Cain, and to his offering he had not respect. And Cain was very wroth, and his countenance fell. And Yahuwah said unto Cain, Why are you wroth? And why is your countenance fallen? If you do well, shall you not be accepted? And if you do not well, sin lies at the door. And unto you shall be his desire, and you shall rule over him. So this is very interesting, guys. This is a verse for all of us, right? Because if we do well, shall we not be accepted? I mean, the only hope that we ever have of making the kingdom is being judged by the Torah. And if we fall short of the Torah, we're not gonna, sin lies at the door, right? And how do we know what sin is, Eli?
Sin is the transgression of the Torah.
Transgression of the Torah, which is breaking the laws of God, is iniquity. That is what sin is. And so Yah says, and this is for all of us, if we do well, shall we not be accepted? So this is the words of Yah coming out of his mouth. He says, shall you not be accepted, right? And so that is where we need to do everything we can to be accepted by Yah. And it's not going to be putting that pork chop in your mouth and blessing that food and thinking you're okay. Verse 8, and Cain talked with Havel, his brother, and it came to pass, when they were in the field, that Cain rose up against Havel, his brother, and slew him. And Yahuwah said unto Cain, Where is Havel your brother? And he said, I know not. Am I to guard my brother? There's that famous, my brother's keeper. And he said, What have you done? The voice of your brother's blood cries unto me from the ground. And now are you cursed from the earth, which has opened her mouth to receive your brother's blood from your hand. When you till the ground, it shall not henceforth yield unto you her strength. A fugitive and a vagabond shall you be in the earth. And Cain said unto Yahuwah, My punishment is greater than I can bear. All right, what is he talking about, guys? There's no command so far on any of this, but his punishment is greater than he can bear. What is his punishment?
He basically hunted by his family.
How?
Basically.
What is this? What is this? How did he become a fugitive and a vagabond? And what do we know? Did that actually happen?
Yeah, he ended up getting killed by his own family.
His got killed by his Tubal-Cain and grandpa, which was his kid?
Yeah, like one of his grandchildren, like that.
Grandchildren and great grandchildren. Oh, it was Lamech, right? And Tubal-Cain.
Yep.
Okay, so anyway, and so This verse 12. I mean, and when you till the ground, there's a huge difference between ground, and I think that in a good world, that we wouldn't have to use the kind of fertilizer that we use to get things going. So, I think these are all curses. I think we all got cursed. I think the ground could be way better than what it is. Okay, so does anyone know what the curse is, though? How does
Basically, he has to live his life as a paranoid person. Like, am I gonna die?
how is he hunted, though? What separates him?
Well, he killed his family member, and his family member is looking to avenge his brother.
Yeah, some people believe that his skin was marked a different color, and so that's what he was scared about. But
I don't think so.
That's right.
Because
don't
mean,
know.
at this point, the only people that exist is his family, right there. Like the immediate family is the only people that exist.
Yep.
So they would know to look for him.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what that means or why that was such a big deal. But he does carry on, and he does have family and all sorts of stuff. So, verse 14, behold, you have driven me out this day from the face of the earth, and from your face shall I be hid, and I shall be a fugitive and a vagabond in the earth. And it shall come to pass that everyone that finds me shall slay me. And Yahuwah said unto him, therefore, whosoever slays Cain, vengeance shall be taken on him sevenfold. And Yahuwah sent a mark upon Cain, lest any finding him should kill him. So I jumped the gun. This is the mark he's talking about. Any idea what this mark is?
I honestly have no idea. It could be like a skin change. It could be.
What would somebody have to look like that you would want to hunt them, or that you would want like a if it was like whiter people and the dude like look like red, like a reddish,
I thought we
red.
were going down the road to Sasquatch. He turned to Sasquatch.
I don't know. Did they? I don't think he turned Sasquatch. I don't think he. But I mean, it's just interesting. He put a mark up on him, lest any find him should kill him. So what mark? Maybe he turned pale white, like completely, like just powder white or something.
So we don't know what the original skin color of him was.
No idea. But we do know Yahushua has curly hair, and his feet are described as bronze. So we do know he's probably not white. He's probably dark skinned, to be my guess. But I mean, it doesn't. At the end of the day, it doesn't really matter. Yah just built variety, like a Crayola coloring box set of people, and it's just unique. Okay, so we don't know what the mark is. We have absolutely no idea. Verse 16, and Cain went out from the presence of Yahuwah and dwelt in the land of Nod on the east of Eden. And Cain knew his woman, and she conceived and bore Canuck. And he built a city and called the name of the city after the name of his son Canuck. Now, is this Canuck the same good Canuck?
No.
This is a bad Canuck. All right, and unto Canuck was born Irad. I think it's Jared, right?
Yep.
No?
I read.
Irad?
Jared is later.
Okay, the wife knows. See? This is
Jared's from Seth.
This is Proverbs 31.
In this one.
Irad. Okay. Thank you, Nicole. And Canuck was born Irad, who is not Jared, and Irad begat Mechiel, and Mechiel and Mechiel begat Methuselah, and Methuselah begat Lamech, and Lamech took unto him two women, and the name of one was Ada, and of the other Zillah. And Ada bore Yavel, and who's Yavel, folks?
Well,
That's Tubal.
Jabal. He was the father of such as dwell in tents, and of such as cattle. And his brother's name was Yuval. He was the father of all such as handle the harp and flute. And Zillah, she also bore Tubal Canaan, an instructor of every artificer of brass and iron. And the sister of Tubal Canaan was Naaman. And Lamech said unto his woman, Ada and Zillah, hear my voice. Ye women of Lamech, hearken unto my speech, for I have slain a man to my wounding, and a young man to my hurt. Did we
read the next verse?
It didn't say it? Okay. If Canaan shall be avenged sevenfold, truly Lamech 70 and sevenfold.
It says in Jasher and Jubilees.
Jubilees, yeah.
Yeah, and so Lamech was out with Tubal Canaan. And
hunting. Tubal Canaan was just a kid.
He was just a kid. Lamech was blind.
Yeah, he was almost blind, so he couldn't really see.
He told the kid to like pull back and shoot. They thought they were shooting at an animal, and it was Cain.
They killed Cain. And then he killed Tubal Cain out of his frustration.
Right, and Lamech like did the Donkey Kong slap across the head or something, right? Just smack, and killed the kid. And so these women were very mad at him, and so they they didn't want anything to do with him. They were divorce him, and then he went and said, "Listen, please, I did not mean to. I'm just an old man, and this is what happened." So Canaan was taken out by his own family. Verse 26, and to Sheth, to him also there was born a son.
You skipped over.
Did I miss it?
Yeah, the one up above.
Oh, 25. And Adam knew his woman again, and she bore a son and called his name Sheth. For Elohim said, she has appointed me another seed instead of Haval, which Canaan slew. And to Seth, to him also there was born a son, and he called his name Enosh. Then began men to call upon the name of Yahuwah. Okay, so these are many years. We're not talking about.
It's like could be hundreds of years.
It
Yeah,
seems
it
really
is.
fast because it's like one sentence after another, and like generations are gone in like three
This is
sentences.
like hundreds of years.
Yeah, and this is a lot of this happens on, if you read the book of Adam and Eve and you get the rest of it, this happens like up top in caves and things like this. I mean, there's like a little village up in the top of nowhere. I mean, this is a really strange story, and the way it all went down in this. But this is many, many, many moons. All right, chapter 5. Here we go, gentlemen. Where are we at with time? We are at this 20 minutes. We're burning this up. All right, Genesis 5. This is a sefer of the generations of Adam. In the day that Elohim created man, in the likeness of Elohim made he him. Male and female created he them, and blessed them, and called their name Adam in the day when they were created. And Adam lived 130 years, and begat a son in his likeness, after his image, and called his name Sheth.
This is like I think it's about 50 or 60 years after.
Yeah, this is way
after
after.
Abel died.
This is way after. And some people have said, well, Cain was the illegitimate child of Eve and the serpent, and that was the whole fruit encounter and things of that nature. And that's not it. They were long out of the garden before any of this ever happened. So way afterwards. So that is not that. Verse, we're 3? And Adam lived 130 years and begat a son in his own likeness, after his image, and he called his name Sheth. I think I read that again. And the days of Adam, after he had begotten Sheth, were 800 years, and he begat sons and daughters. And all the days that Adam lived were 930 years, and he died. And the book of Adam and Eve is really super cool, guys. I don't know if it's legitimate, but it seems pretty legit. That in this 930 years that Adam, he was supposed to live 1,000 years. He's supposed to live forever, but then he had like 1,000. But he actually died a whole bunch of times prior to any of this. He just kept coming out of the garden, and he was just like a giant child. He did not understand anything, did not get things. The sun rising freaked him out. And when he was kicked out of the garden, he was kicked out of paradise, and he was kicked into a cave. And so his entire world changed. So 930 years, he definitely lived that one up. So verse 6, and Sheth lived 105 years and begat Enosh. And Sheth lived after he begot Enosh 807 years and begat sons and daughters. And all the days of Sheth were 912 years, and he died. And Enosh lived 90 years and begat Canaan. And Enosh lived after he begat Canaan 815 years and begat sons and daughters. And all the days of Enosh were 905 years, and he died. And Canaan lived 70 years and begat Mahel. And Canaan lived after he begat Mahel. How do you say that? I don't think it's Mahel.
Mahalo?
Melhelel. So Melhelel. It's Melhelel. We don't say that very much. 800 times Melhelel. 840 years and begat sons and daughters. And all the days of Canaan were 910 years, and he died. And Mahalalel lived 65 years and begat Yared. And this is a good Yared. And Mahalalel lived after he begat Yared 830 years and begat sons and daughters. And all the days of Mahalalel, it's never going to end, were 895 years, and he died. And Yared lived 162 years, and he begat Kanak. And Yared lived and he begat Kanak 800 years and begat sons and daughters. And all the days of Yared were 962 years, and he died. And Kanak lived 65 years and begat Methuselah. And Kanak walked with Elohim after he begat Methuselah 300 years and begat sons and daughters.
What do you do for 600 years?
I have no idea, but it must be absolutely awesome.
I mean,
Because you don't become a grandpa. You don't like age out at like 70 and become frail and trash. I mean, they were like, Abraham was doing laps. I mean, Adam was doing, he was just doing chin-ups and stuff at 800. You just didn't age as that.
I'm not dead yet.
So that brings up a good point. Why do we age? Why do we live now to tops of like 100 years old and we're long gone? Most people are dead at like 70. Now the Cobra Commander came and took the whole world. Everybody's dying at like way younger than that. So
25.
25. Everybody. There's this new stuff in town. It's like can't say too much on YouTube. Anyway, let's go into this. Why do we only live 100 years, folks?
Well, it talks about in the next couple chapters, but iniquity, man. He's like, they're living too long. They're going to the wayside. He's like, let's all cut down years to 120.
Yeah, it's going to even get worse than that. So it's going to get smaller and smaller and smaller until it's nothing. Okay, so where are we at here? 23? Okay, and all the days of Canuck were 360 and 5 years. And Canuck walked with Elohim, and he was not, for Elohim took him. And Methuselah lived 180 and 7 years and begat Lamech. And Methuselah lived, after he begat Lamech, 780 and 2 years and begat sons and daughters. And all the days of Methuselah were 960 and 9 years, and he died. So he lived like almost later than everyone. If you can hear that, the dogs are about to erupt and the birds are dancing on our tin roof. And here comes Nicole in to patrol the hounds. Okay, and Lamech lived 180 and 2 years and begat a son, and he called his name Noach, saying, "This same shall comfort us concerning our work and toil of our hands, because of the ground which Yahuwah has cursed." Now, what was the deal with Noah? Do you guys remember?
He was like albino. He was like
There's something
straight
funky
white,
with
and
him.
his eyes were like blue
Freaked
and
him out.
everything. And everyone's like, "Oh, this dude's from the fall, and this was from
Who
the
did
fall."
Lamech go and talk to?
Methuselah.
Methuselah, and says, "Hey, man, my kid's like a..."
He's like, "I think he's a fallen. I think my wife cheated with a fallen man." He's like, "No, calm down. It's okay. It's okay. It's normal."
So back in the day, way back in the day, it has a movie called Powder. You guys remember that? You guys never saw it for sure. But it basically, there's something wrong with this kid, and he was like complete albino white. And so everybody out there messed with him. But that's what it reminds me of. Is like some dude who's like really just dipped in powder. But there's something so different about him that he was freaked out. It was really tripping him out. And so, yeah, Noah was not just a normal dude. He was
just everybody else. It was the dad
He was like
too.
the coolest looking one.
Yeah, he was cool looking. So
His eyes were like pools of blue or something, and like shine in the sun.
yeah, he looked like an angel or something. So something Lamech thought something bad had been happening.
Hey, what happened here, guys?
Yeah. Okay. And he calls his name Noach, saying, "They shall comfort us concerning our work and toil of our hands." And Lamech lived after he begat Noach 590 and 5 years and begat sons and daughters. And all the days of Lamech were 770 and 7 years, and he died. And Noach was 500 years old, and Noach begot Shem, Cam, and Japheth.
My 500-year-old, you get kids 500 years old.
Yeah, and again, these were years and years and years that were happening. Guys, what is it? Chapter 9 that we get into this?
Yeah,
6, 7, 8, 9. We can do this. We can do this, guys. Genesis 6. If you're still there and hanging with us, we really, really appreciate it. We know that most people check out in about 4 minutes, according to YouTube stats. So if you're beyond this, thank you guys very much. All right, Genesis 6. "And it came to pass, when men began to multiply on the face of the earth, and daughters were born unto them, that the sons of Elohim saw the daughters of men, that they were fair, and they took them women of all which they chose." All right, who are these bad boys?
Oh, these are fallen angels.
Fallen angels. These are the watchers. These are the bad dudes.
And they all said, like, one of them was like, "Oh, this woman's beautiful, but I can't go alone. You'll have to come with me." And they're all like, "All right, we'll go with you," instead of just sending that dude.
He's
to
like,
go.
"I don't believe you. I think you guys are all turn on me." And they're like, "Oh, no.
"Oh, we make an oath.
Let's
we make
make
an
a
oath."
pact. Let's do it." And they made the pact.
Then they went, all took women.
Yeah. And so they all strove. Who's the ringleader of this?
Azazel, man.
Azazel.
He gets sharp rocks to the face of his life.
Yeah, in the darkness.
Sharp rocks in the
All right,
face.
verse 3. "And Yahuwah said, My Ruach shall not always strive with man, for that he also is flesh. Yet his days shall be 120 years." Okay. "There were Nephilim in the earth in those days, who also gathered afterward, when the sons of Elohim came in unto the daughters of men, and they bore children unto them. The same became warriors and tyrants, which were from everlasting mortal men of the name." Wow. Okay, so these guys, these crazy, freaky watcher dudes, all of a sudden they mated with the women, and then they bore the Nephilim, and then the Eliad. 3 generations. And then it's like, so basically you had the children mating with the children, right? So you had first of all these giants, and then the giants started mating with the giants, and then it just got worse.
like,
They just got
wow.
worse. And all of a sudden, men became eaten, right? They ran out of food, and all of a sudden, the Scooby snacks, right? It was like, human Scooby snacks. So, when you're looking at how the pyramids got built, it was tinker toys for these dudes of renown. I mean, they were huge. So that's that. Verse 5. And Yahuwah saw that the wickedness of man was great in the earth, and that every imagination of the thoughts of his heart was only evil continually. And Yahuwah repented that he had made man on the earth, and it grieved him at his heart. And Yahuwah said, I will destroy man, whom I have created from the face of the earth, both man and beast, and the creeping thing, and the fowls of the air, for I repent that I have made them. And that's a bad news. When your creator's like, I am upset of my creation. I am very upset. Look at what they've done. But Noah found grace in the eyes of Yahuwah. These are the generations of Noah. Noah was just a man and perfect in his generations, and Noah walked with Elohim. And Noah begat 3 sons, Shem, Cam, and Japheth. The earth also was corrupt before Elohim, and the earth was filled with violence. And Elohim looked upon the earth, and behold, it was corrupt, for all flesh had corrupted his way upon the earth. And Elohim said unto Noah, the end of all flesh is come before me, for the earth is filled with violence through them. That's Josh. And behold, I will destroy them with the earth. Make you an ark of gopher wood. Rooms shall you make in the ark, and shall pitch it within and without with pitch. And this is the fashion which you shall make of it. The length of the ark shall be 300 cubits, the breadth of it 50 cubits, and the height of it 30 cubits. A window shall you make to the ark, and in a cubit you shall finish it above, and the door of the ark shall you set in the side thereof. With lower, second, and third stories shall you make it. And behold, I, even I, do bring a flood of waters upon the earth, to destroy all flesh, wherein is the breath of life, from under heaven, and everything that is in the earth shall die. But with you will I establish my covenant, and you shall come into the ark, you and your sons and your women and your sons' women with you. And of every living thing of all flesh, 2 of every sort shall you bring into the ark, to keep them alive with you. They shall be male and female. Of fowls after their kind, and of cattle after their kind, of every creeping thing of the earth after his kind, 2 of every sort shall come unto you, to keep them alive. And take unto you of all food that is eaten, and you shall gather it to you, and it shall be for food for you, and for them. Thus did Noah, according to all that Elohim commanded him, so he did. How many pigs did they take, folks?
2.
2. Why didn't they take 7?
They're not clean animals.
They must come in here. It's talking about 7 here, huh?
Yeah, next chapter 7. I think it's chapter 7.
7, 8, 9. Can we do it? We're at 32 minutes, guys. We got this, right?
Yep.
Everyone with me? Can I get a hip hip hooray?
Hip hip hooray!
All right. Just a 7. And Yahuwah said unto Noah, come, you and all your house into the ark, for you have I seen righteous before me in this generation. Of every clean beast you shall take to you by 7s, the male and his female, and of beasts that are not clean by 2, the male and his female. Of fowls also of the air by 7s, the male and the female, to keep seed alive upon the face of all the earth. Okay, so we took 2 by 2, and then we took 7 by 7. What? What are we talking about?
7 clean animals is 2 unclean animals.
So are we talking seven cows?
Yeah, 7 cows.
7 bulls and 7 cows? Male and female? It would be off.
It says take you by 7s, but when it's talking about the 2, it only says 2.
So 7s, I think it'd be 7 females and 7
I think
males.
so.
In a different translation,
Yep.
it says take with you 7 pairs.
7 pairs. Okay.
The male and his mate.
Yay, Nicole, for the win again. Thank you. Okay, yes. So it is 7 by 7. And so why would you have 7 cows? That's a lot of cows, guys. We're taking 7 cows.
I hope they don't get sick.
I'm thinking 14.
Yeah, 14. And so, I mean, at some point...
Dude, I wonder how they clean the stalls in the ark, man. They were in the ark for
Dude,
40 days.
They had a
Tossed
window.
it out the window.
They had a little window.
What about, like, they put hay back down or something? Like, there's no grass.
They must have had bales of hay, dude. There's something. They must have planned all this. There must be... I don't know how
Well,
this went down.
several hundred-year
it took
exhibition.
it took 100 years to build the ark.
Yes, and I think it took more than just Noah.
It says
I think
5 in Joshua. It's 5 years to build it, but they had 120 years to repent.
120 years to repent, right? Never happened. Okay, where are we at?
Guys, you better repent for 120 years is up.
Start cutting grass.
Yeah, start cutting grass. 3. Okay, of fowls also of the air by sevens, the male and the female, to keep seed alive upon the face of all the earth. For yet 7 days, and I will cause it to rain upon the earth 40 days and 40 nights, and every living substance that I have made will I destroy from off the face of the earth. And Noach did according unto all that YHWH commanded him. And Noach was 600 years old when the flood of waters was upon the earth. And Noach went in, and his sons, and his woman, and his sons' women with him into the ark because of the waters of the flood. Of cling beasts, and of beasts that are not cling, and of fowls, and of everything that creeps upon the earth. So there's a differentiation. There's cling food and uncling food. There's cling beasts and uncling beasts. Why would they take cling beasts in, folks? Gentlemen?
Well, they had to eat something. I mean, they're basically when you're in the ark for a long time, all your vegetables are gonna get old. Your
You think they're slaughter a
herbs are
cow?
gonna get old. Oh yeah.
You think?
Yeah, if I take a bull and hang him
How
up.
many
Hang 'em up.
cows and bulls do they end up with at the end?
Enough to populate the earth.
I don't think one of them could eat. Like if it was a big bull, I don't think they could fry steaks for the entire time they're on there, and they're gonna have a ton of steaks. Plus, it's gonna go well. They can actually hang the meat without a refrigerator. Man, this is all set up, man. I don't know.
Wait a minute, what about bugs? They have flies? Like, they each take little, like, 2 flies?
I think so, but
Flies
if it's
are
just
on this, so they should
but
have
if it's
stayed
two
off.
flies, you know those things spawn like every little bit.
Dude,
There's
oh,
tons
man,
of
they
I
should-
was like,
they
I
sh-
should have left these ones
They
out.
should have
the
left them.
bees.
They
You would
sh-
have had the bees,
They should have left the mice in the water.
but it would have just been a queen bee and a male bee.
Dude, the mice. We had to solve the mice problem. If they didn't take the mice,
Dude, we're all upset about mice because we fight mice here every night. We're in the middle of a jungle and there's mice and lizards. Dude, the other day,
Lizards are fine.
the other day I had 2 scorpions fighting on the back of my wall.
What do you do about that?
I killed them both.
Oh, man. Should
They
let
went
them
down the
fight.
toilet. Yeah, no, and they didn't.
Put them in a Coliseum and let them fight.
I had a crutch, and I used this crutch that I had sitting there, and it went to the end, but it stung the end of the crutch. It, like the last thing
Fighting
it had.
with it, yeah.
they do. And we have scorpions. They just things like that. And that's not a big deal. That's what happens. But we are having mouse issues, and we're trying to deal with them, and so we're coming.
That's
up
a
with,
big deal.
We're coming. Yeah, we should do a video just on that one day on how not to catch mice and what some successful ways that we've had. So anyway, let's keep moving on. Where are we at here? Dogs are fighting. I am distracted. Does anyone know where-
We're on 9.
9. There went in 2 and 2 unto El Noach, into the ark, the male and female. What's it say in your guys' translation? Does it say El Noach?
9.
No, it does. It just says Noah.
Okay, this one says El Noach.
The Noah.
Yeah, the Noach. Into the ark, the male and the female, as Elohim had commanded Noach. And it came to pass after 7 days that the waters of the flood were upon the earth. In the 600th year of Noach's life, in the 2nd month, the 17th day of the month, the same day were all the fountains of the great deep broken up, and the windows of heaven were open. I don't know why I have that highlighted, but I guess that was very
I
important.
think it's probably something about flat Earth. Yeah, I'm guessing.
Flat Earth.
You know how the windows of heaven are open, like opens the
Same day
dome,
fountains of
maybe.
the great of the deep were broken up, and the windows of heaven were opened. Yeah, the windows of heaven, probably. Verse 12. And the rain was upon the earth 40 days and 40 nights. In the selfsame day entered Noach, and Shem, and Cam, and Japheth, the sons of Noach, and Noach's woman, and the 3 women of his sons with them into the ark. They and every beast after his kind, and all the cattle after their kind, and every creeping thing that creeps upon the earth after his kind, and every fowl after his kind, every bird of every sort. And they went in unto Noach, unto the ark, 2 and 2 of all flesh, wherein is the breath of life. The most incredible thing that you probably ever saw was the commanding of the animals and the way that they must have obeyed Noah. Because, I mean, imagine that. We can't even get a rope around some of our cows.
Oh, man.
Imagine us trying to get them loaded
If
onto
they
a
have
giant
dogs
ship.
and lions and
Or
cows,
lions, the lion would just eat you.
they
There's
eat
no way
the
you're
cow, you'd be like, stop eating the cow.
It was a team effort. Everybody's like, hey, you know what? Yah just said, hey. All of a sudden they had this need and a no, and probably the best of the finest of whatever went in there, and they all went in, and they were the ones who were the chosen animals.
Imagine being the only people knowing that you're going to be the only ones left alive for like years to come.
It would have been spooky. The last few moments of the ark locking down and people trying to get in, and you know they would have tried to kill you, right? Especially when the rain started coming. These people were these crazy. The earth was so violent and vile at that time. It was bad news as it was. Okay.
Imagine Noah's families are like seeing rain. Oh crap! It's raining again, and they like run to the ark. They're all running together.
Yeah,
Every time it starts raining.
I would be sketched. Okay, where are we at? 15?
PTSD after that.
Okay, they went in unto Noach into the ark, 2 and 2 of all flesh, wherein is the breath of life. And they that went in male and female of all flesh, as Elohim had commanded him, and YHWH shut him in. And the flood was 40 days upon the earth, and the waters increased and bore up the ark, and it was lift up above the earth. And the waters prevailed, and were increased greatly upon the earth, and the ark went upon the face of the waters. And the waters prevailed exceedingly upon the earth, and all the high hills that were under the whole heaven were covered. 15 cubits upward did the waters prevail, and the mountains were covered. And all flesh died that moved upon the earth, both of fowl, and of cattle, and of beast, and of every creeping thing that creeps upon the earth, and every man. All in whose nostrils was the breath of life, of all that was in the dry land died. So what didn't die?
Was
fish?
ever in the boat?
Fish. And what was ever in the boat? All the fish lived.
Yeah.
Nothing died. He would have to have a Sahara desert to kill off the fish. It went the other way.
So
So they all lived.
first he put all the water up and then he dried them out.
Dried out, killed everything. But can you imagine the stench? All those animals, all that death.
Maybe the water will wash that away.
You know, probably
They were
were
gone for like
eaten.
40 days.
He probably had all the sharks on him just to eat all the people that were in there anyway. Okay, verse 23, we're going to make it, guys. And every living substance was destroyed, which was upon the face of the ground, both man and cattle, and the creeping things, and the fowl of the heavens, and they were destroyed from the earth. And Noah only remained alive, and they that were with him in the ark. And the waters prevailed upon the earth 150 days. 150 days we had water.
That's a lot.
We're going to blast this. No commands yet. Anyone catch any commands?
Not yet.
All right. Nicole, any commands? All right. And Elohim remembered Noah and every living thing and all the cattle that was with him in the ark. And Elohim made a wind to pass over the earth, and the waters, I don't even know how to say that word, assuaged. What's it say here? What does it say in your versions, folks?
Sank down and abated.
Sank down and abated.
Subsided.
Okay. The fountains also of the deep and the windows of heaven were stopped, and the rain from heaven was restrained. And the waters returned from off the earth continually. And after the end of the 150 days, the water were abated. And the ark rested in the 7th month, on the 17th day of the month, upon the mountains of Ararat. And the waters decreased continually until the 10th month. In the 10th month, on the 1st day of the month, were the tops of the mountains seen. And it came to pass at the end of 40 days that Noah opened the window of the ark which he had made. So he probably didn't throw the cow manure out the thing.
Dude, imagine the smell in that place.
Oh, yeah, it wasn't good, folks. At all.
Maybe a drainage.
That's a terrible 150 days
They
there.
had 150 days
By-
of just terrible. That's a half a year. That's
Imagine
just
the air.
awful.
Yeah. They must have had like some sealed rooms or something where they couldn't smell the rest of the animals. But it would
I'm
just
sure they
seep
had
in.
something. I can't wait to see it one day.
Yeah, Noah, how did you do this? Okay, and he sent forth a raven, which went forth to and fro until the waters were dried up from off the earth. Also he sent forth a dove from him to see if the waters were abated from off the face of the ground. But the dove found no rest for the sole of her foot, and she returned unto him into the ark, for the waters were on the face of the whole earth. Then he put forth his hand, and took her, and pulled her in unto him into the ark. And he stayed yet other 7 days, and again he sent forth the dove out of the ark. And the dove came in to him in the evening, and lo, in her mouth was an olive leaf plucked off. So Noah knew that the waters were abated from off the earth. And he stayed yet other 7 days, and sent forth the dove, which returned not again unto him any more. And it came to pass in the 601st year, in the 1st month, in the 1st day of the month, the waters were dried up from off the earth. And Noah removed the covering of the ark, and looked, and behold, the face of the ground was dry. So I guess the top of it, did he just rip off the top of it, or rip the side of it? What kind of covering was
I'm
it?
done and blows the
Boom, blows the roof. I don't know. And in the 2nd month, on the 7th and 20th day of the month, was the earth dry. And Elohim spoke unto Noah, saying, Go forth of the ark, you, and your woman, and your sons' women with you. Bring forth with you every living thing that is with you, of all flesh, both of fowl and of cattle, and of every creeping thing that creeps upon the earth, that they may breed abundantly in the earth, and be fruitful and multiply upon the earth. There that is again for the animals, or the reiteration of what our commands are: be fruitful and multiply. And Noah went forth, and his sons, and his women, and his sons' women with him. Every beast, every creeping thing, and every fowl, and whatsoever creeps upon the earth, after their kinds went forth out of the ark. And Noah built an altar unto YHWH, and took of every clean beast and of every clean fowl, and offered ascending smoke offerings on the altar. And YHWH, what's that?
I was gonna say that's a lot of blood and a lot of cows and cattle and stuff to deal with.
Took of every clean beast. Yeah, well,
That's a lot.
Well, I don't know. It's
There's
not gonna be too much.
still a lot of clean animals there.
How many? I don't think you got that many. You got cows, you got
Gazelle,
bulls,
the deer, the
goats.
roebuck. You got goats, sheep.
How many? How many? How
You got
many
every
kill?
clean bird.
He took of every clean beast, so he killed one of them, one of each. There's some blood, but it didn't. It's not like the days of Solomon. We're not talking the days of Solomon.
Like, stop, sir, please.
21. And Yahuwah smelled the sweet savor, and Yahuwah said in his heart, I will not again curse the ground any more for man's sake, for the imagination of man's heart is evil from his youth. Neither will I again smite any more anything living as I have done. While the earth remains, seed time and harvest, and cold and heat, and summer and winter, and day and night shall not cease. All right, before switching over to the next one where we actually find the commandment and where we're going to end at the end. And again, if you're still there with us, thank you guys for hanging with us. I found this very interesting here. That when people are like, I'm a good person, God knows my heart, or they know my heart. Yah says over and over in this thing that man has a bad heart. Man's heart, the imagination of man's heart is evil from his youth. And so we are very evil people, and this is why we absolutely need the Torah. We need the line of the Torah. We need to know what the Torah says and write it on our hearts, minds, and souls. Okay, I have all this stuff highlighted, but I don't think it's actual commands. It's stuff from other lessons I've done in the past. So let's read into it, guys, and this is where it is. So let's find our commands right here, and let's do it. Genesis 9. And Elohim blessed Noach and his sons and said unto them, Be fruitful and multiply and replenish the earth. Now, is this a new command?
It's not a new
No.
command, it's just a reiterated
Right,
command.
this is a reiterated command because we already have this command. Our first commands that we have from Genesis 1:28 is this: be fruitful, multiply, and replenish the earth. So he's reiterating the same commands to Noach that he already had. Okay, verse 2. And the fear of you and the dread of you shall be upon every beast of the earth, and upon every fowl of the air, upon all that moves upon the sea, and upon all the fish of the sea. Into your hand are they delivered. That's a big thing right there. That's the fear and dread of every beast. I mean, because there's a lot of beasts that have no fear and dread of you that'll just run you through and kill you. It's very interesting that the dread of every beast on the earth. So I don't know if they have a special connection with animals in general or what that means exactly, but I guess they were dominant. Verse 3, every moving thing that lives shall be food for you, even as the green herb have I given you all things. Okay, this is where the Christian, this is it. He's given us everything that's food. Right there, it says it. The pig is clean, folks. Every moving thing that lives shall be food for you. Eli.
Okay, in the previous chapter, they already had like things that they specified as clean, so that's what they knew as food.
Well, it says everything that lives shall be food for you. So that means, I guess, right there, we can't eat a dead corpse, but everything that lives shall be food for you. A pig seems to be clean. Is that what it's saying?
A pig was never specified as food. A pig was never specified as what was to be eaten.
So you're trying to define what food is before we say what we should actually be eating. Okay, I agree. That is exactly right. We have to define what food is, and in Leviticus we get into the food laws, but Noach knows what clean food is. I mean, that's why he took 7 of every clean animal. He would have no idea what clean and unclean was unless Yah had already given him commandments like this. So there was definitely a Torah prior to Mount Sinai and things of this nature. Okay, so... But flesh, here we go. Every moving thing that lives shall be food for you. Okay, verse 4. But flesh with the life thereof, which is the blood thereof, shall ye not eat.
That's a command.
There's the command right there. Okay, so the flesh but the life thereof, which is the blood thereof, ye shall not eat. Okay, why don't we eat the blood, folks?
Because it says the
Life
life
is
in
in
blood.
Life is in the blood. Does anybody here know how blood works? Or how any of this stuff works? Don't eat the blood is the command, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Don't eat the blood. Okay, and this is reiterated many times in the Torah. There's something about these, especially the Satanists. It just blew up on me. Oh my goodness. Okay, so the Satanists, as I'm sitting here going over this, speaking of Satanists, I'm back into Google site. Don't be evil. Greatest censorship in the world.
Their docs program is pretty evil.
Yeah, they just do good code, but they don't even do code. Okay, so actually it did save this. So don't eat the blood. And I'm an ex-Googler, so I'm just saying that I know some Googlers there, and they're not all bad. But definitely the administration, they're not good. Okay, so don't eat the blood. So we have Genesis 9:4. Life is in the blood. Awesome. Now let's roll back into this. Okay. Verse 5, and surely your blood of your lives will I require, At the hand of every beast will I require it, and at the hand of man, at the hand of every man's brother will I require the life of man. Does anyone else have a better translation of that?
But only your blood for your lives I require it. From the hand of every beast I require it, and from the hand of man, from the hand of every man's brother I require the life of man.
Okay, so I guess we better go to the next verse. Nicole, did you have a translation for us on this?
It's close to the same.
Okay, so verse 6 is, Whoso sheds man's blood, by man shall his blood be shed, for the image of Elohim made he man. So these two verses together is essentially, what is this saying? Anyone?
It says, ways when you shed blood, you shed Elohim's blood.
If you kill somebody,
He's then required of
your
you.
blood
You're
is
gonna get-
required of that. So it's a big deal to kill somebody. So is there any commands here? Surely the blood of your lives will I require, at the hand of every beast will I require it. Okay, is there any commands? Anyone have anything here?
Don't eat the blood.
Well, we already had that. That's the one right. Don't eat, but flesh with the life thereof, which is the blood
It's like
thereof.
life for life, tooth for tooth
Yeah.
style thing
Don't
here.
shed
Who-
man's blood.
Whoso sheds man's blood, he's just saying, by man shall his blood be shed, for the image of Elohim made he man. Is there any commands in there, anyone?
I feel like
I
this
don't
is not
think
like a command, but like a thing where he's like, because it started really
It's
bad.
like a precept. It's like a judgment.
Yeah, like he started real bad with in the garden, but it got even worse when Cain killed Abel. So he's like, and then everyone started killing each other, right? So he doesn't want any more killing, any more slaughtering on the earth, and he's like, if you kill this person, I'm going to take your life.
But we don't have a command as of yet that we would execute
Right,
this. This
right.
is Yah's command. This is what he is saying. I don't think we have like authority to. I mean, there's authority if you lived in Yisrael and we were all under the law, statutes, and commands. That when somebody is breaking the laws of this nature, we would absolutely take them outside the city gates and pick up rocks and chuck them. But I don't think we would have authority. So I don't see that as a command. Is everyone with me here?
Yep.
No command.
Okay.
7.
And you, be ye fruitful and multiply, bring forth abundantly in the earth and multiply therein. Okay, so again, here's another. This is yet the command. This is where we could go straight on, like the 613 laws or something of the sort. But it's the same thing. It says, "Be fruitful, multiply, bring forth abundantly in the earth." Is that more commands? Are we reiterating? Do we put this in the list?
This
It is the same command. If we,
It's just the same.
I don't know.
I don't think it's a new. It's not a new command. He's still doing the same
It
thing.
is
He's still
command,
telling
and you be ye fruitful and multiply, bring forth abundance. It's a reiteration of the exact same command.
right.
So it wouldn't be a new command. Anyone?
No,
Yeah, I
I'd say
think
it's the same thing. I'd say he's reiterating commands. We've already gone over this before.
If there's anybody out there who's made it this far and you guys want to comment on this, please do. Okay, so I don't think we will add this to it because I mean we would already be duplicating this 5 down the list.
I still wonder about 4 though. 4 and 5.
4 and 5.
Because
Okay,
in
let's
this
look at it.
version 5, it says, "And surely for your lifeblood I will require an accounting. For every beast I will require it, and from every man, I will require a reckoning."
Okay, he's counting.
Yeah, well, I mean that's not us. I mean,
He's gonna count it for when they do kill.
and I mean I don't know what at the hand of every beast. I don't even know what that means. Is that for every beast you kill?
I think it's
What, for a chicken to
I
eat?
think it's for every beast kills another man or something like that. Like when a beast kills someone, like goes goring.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know. I don't see any command here. Does anyone else see command?
Nothing.
At the hand of any man. I mean, essentially, he's setting up why he's going to have you drug outside the city gates and killed. Okay. 8. Okay, so yeah, if you wanted to go crazy and have just tons of commands, this is reiterating, but it's also reiterated a little bit before. So this is like the 9th time or 6th time we're seeing this exact same setup. Okay, verse 8. And Elohim spoke unto Noach and to his sons with him, saying, And I, behold, I establish my covenant with you, and with your seed after you, and with every living creature that is with you, and of the fowl, of the cattle, and of every beast of the earth with you, from all that go out of the ark to every beast of the earth. And I will establish my covenant with you, neither shall all flesh be cut off any more by the waters of a flood, neither shall there any more be a flood to destroy the earth. And Elohim said, This is the sign of the covenant which I make between me and you and every living creature that is with you for perpetual generations. Okay, so this is for like all generations, guys. Perpetual generations, that is us. That is you guys out there listening. This is all of us. This is forever. I do set my bow in the cloud, and it shall be for a sign of a covenant between me and the earth. And it shall come to pass when I bring a cloud over the earth, that the bow shall be seen in the cloud. And I will remember my covenant, which is between me and you and every living creature of all flesh, and the water shall no more become a flood to destroy all flesh. And the bow shall be in the cloud, and I will look upon it, that I may remember the everlasting covenant between Elohim and every living creature of all flesh that is upon the earth. And Elohim said unto Noach, This is the sign of the covenant which I have established between me and all flesh that is upon the earth. And the sons of Noach that went forth of the ark were Shem, Cam, and Japheth. And Cam is the father of Canaan. These are the 3 sons of Noach, and of them was the whole earth overspread. And Noach began to be a husbandman, and he planted a vineyard. And he drank of the wine, and was drunken, and he was uncovered within his tent. And Cam, the father of Canaan, saw the nakedness of his father, and told his 2 brethren without. And Shem and Japheth took a garment, and laid it upon both of their shoulders, and went backward, and covered the nakedness of their father. And their faces were backwards, and they saw not their father's nakedness. Okay, couple things right here. Noach got sauced up.
Yeah.
Noach drank a little too much of his berry juice.
Yeah.
And he passed out. Yeah, he's good stuff. He's, I think it was like the 4th year or something, or 5th year. I can't remember what it was. I think it talks about it somewhere else, but he like really went to town on these grapes, right?
He worked really hard for those men. He earned that.
Yeah, and then he probably had a few too many sips, passed out. And you don't hear of anything like Yah's like, man, my human, he got drunk, I will curse him forever, he will not be, it's like it's nothing. Noah drank a little too much, passed out. Whatever happened with freaky Cam is another thing. And then by the king it says Ham, but whatever happened, he thought it was like pretty funky or funny that Pops was like passed out cold, naked. But, I think when Noach, he woke, and I mean, what's the story after that? Noach woke from his wine and knew what his younger son had done unto him. And he said, Cursed be Canaan. He didn't curse his son Cam, he cursed his son's son. A servant of servants shall he be unto his brethren. And he said, Blessed be YHWH, Elohe, of Shem and Canaan shall be his servant. So that's a huge thing. All of a sudden, if your pops doesn't just curse you, he curses your kid. You're like, wow, hey, wait a second. And that's over. It seems like once you say a blessing or a curse, it's pretty much over. And he said, Blessed be Yahuwah Elohei of Shem, and Canaan shall be his servants. Elohim shall enlarge Japheth, and he shall dwell in the tents of Shem, and Canaan shall be his servant. So he's basically a servant to all the kids. And Noach lived after the flood 350 years, and all the days of Noach were 950 years, and he died. All right, gentlemen, thank you guys so much. I really appreciate this. I know it's been a very long day dealing with cows and dealing with all this stuff, and we do need to go check on our cow right now as well. I appreciate it. Does anyone have anything out there? We made it to it. Commandment 7: don't eat the blood. It's like don't eat blood at all. And but the flesh with the life thereof, which is the blood thereof, ye shall not eat. So with the life, so don't eat the blood, which is the blood thereof. Okay, so I think that's it. Thank you guys very, very much. Gentlemen, do you guys have anything?
Read your Bibles, and if you like this, follow along with us and read your Bible with us.
Yeah, follow along. If you know anybody who's trying to figure out what the laws of God are, let's take a look at it. When you look at this list, I wouldn't say you would want any of these things nailed to the tree. Might be bad days if we're all sitting there around toasting up the blood of the children. Who's going to be bled out today, boys? Yeah, no. All right, guys, so that's it. Thank you guys very much for listening. We love you guys. Much love to everybody out there, and we are out.
Shalom.